Witam was serdecznie. Ulala. Tak, jak to stwierdziliśmy, albo ja stwierdziłem w zeszłym odcinku. Będziemy robić tylko poboczne misje. Sorry, tylko główne misje. Aż może konia dostanę albo coś, ale nie wiem. Bo jak na razie to jest bardziej mi symulator chłopa niż jakaś tam gierka, nie? Kowal. Siema, Kowalu.
What would you like?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semin. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure
Zaczynamy.
thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge.
Wykaż się ukolać, znaleźć surowce do pracy.
Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Have you taken what you need from the chest yet?
Tu, stąd mogę wziąć, tak? Wszystko mam.
Are you gonna get Why are you showing that off? Pathetic! You were starting to scare me.
Sorry,
Go
nie
over to
chciałem.
the anvil and let's get started.
To jest kowadło.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Are you gonna get started then?
Chłopie, złote, kurde, mam jakiś strażnik tutaj. Czekaj, do kowadła, tu. Okej.
This is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up and try poking it around for a bit.
Kurde.
Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellow.
Dobrze, no to pływamy sobie szabelkę.
won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out.
Dobra, mam.
See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it.
Okej.
Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are.
No i spróbujemy, no.
That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other.
Wcielasz.
Henry, focus. Give it a try.
Robię.
So what then? If you can't handle it, I'll have you make nails instead. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. The sword
Robiłem.
has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side.
Masakra.
Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway.
Ulala. I bijemy. I bijemy. Już się słodziło.
It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace
O
from
Jezus,
time to
kilka
time.
razy.
Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil.
Panie złoty.
Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. Well struck.
Kurde, ale no.
Sparks. That's the stuff. Sparks are flying nicely. Sparks are flying nicely.
Znowu do kuźni. Rozgrzać. Matko Boska. Nudne. O, Matko Boska, dobrze, już zrób ten pieprzony miecz.
Sparks are flying nicely. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's the ring you want. That's some nice whistling. There you go. You've got it
Mamy,
finished.
w końcu.
All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
I do wody. Okej, wykuwanie powiodło się.
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
To wszystko.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Dobrze. Masz własne łóżko. Nawiązanie własnego posłania jest to, że zawsze możesz się w nim przespać.
What do you want, you yokel? Speak up or get lost. It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them. Can I ask you about that card?
What is it you need to know?
All right. I'm on my...
Time's wasting.
Handluj, napraw,
I
napraw.
need something repaired.
Miecz.
Thank you kindly. And come again, friend. What do you need? Hurry up.
Napraw.
This could use...
Great. I'm glad you found what you were looking for. Take care, friend.
Dobra, i teraz... Musimy teraz zrobić tą... Wyprawa. Uda się do Semina. O panie złote! Z buta jeszcze, tak? Matko boska, jaka ta mapa jest w dupę. No to muszę się przejść do Seminy. Konia bym nigdzie tutaj nie dostanę. No to śmigamy. Kurde, czujesz się jak w Stalkerze. Nie mogliby dać. A tutaj, kolego, masz konia, żebyś tak nie musiał biegać. Gdybyście mieli konia, bym wam go ukradł. La la. Mogę gwizdać i gwizdać, ile ja chcę. I dotarliśmy.
Don't cause any trouble, does it?
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You're right there, laddie.
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Semin is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck where you're from. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that.
Chłopie złoty.
I'll get you.
Don't take any of his shite, you're
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
Stamina! Kurwa, znowu ta stamina! Co to kurwa jest stoker? On ma staminę od cholery, ta?
This is unbelievable!
Fucking bastard!
Shame on you!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp,
Pierdole.
Christ! Shit! Come on then!
Kurde, tak, on może ile razy walić. Masakra ta gra. Coraz bardziej... Albo to jest skryptowane.
Oh, you wee bastard!
The devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Semin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yechin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above. And how are you going to ride with us? On the back
Mega
of my
git,
saddle?
dostaje konia. W
You're a
końcu.
bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
No, that's all. But we should get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn.
Okej. Ara. Kurde, kradnę. Będę kraść. Chyba trzeba tutaj kraść.
I need my shoes repaired.
Usiądź. Nie, chyba muszę po prostu kraść. I potem te wszystkie rzeczy sprzedam. Dam.
Don't cause any trouble, got it?
Nie bój się. Włamywanie się, nie umie się włamać. Nie mam wytrycha. Muszę się na pewno wyspać. Stare meble. To jest kuchnia. Gdzie jest stajnia?
God bless.
Come here, you sack of fleas. Eat up.
What are you doing
That's
with
all
that?
you'll get.
Nawet nie wiem, jak mam tutaj kurde tą wyciągnąć, ale... Tak, tutaj z tyłu dobrze szłem. Albo tu? Nie, to jest suszarnia. Jak ja mogę wyciągnąć pochodnie? Cholera jasna! Na górze. Rozpocznij. Godzinka. Panie złoty. Muszę co najmniej do rana. Do 6. Nie możesz zasnąć, ponieważ spałeś już wystarczająco długo. Okej. To wiecie co? To na tym akurat zakończę też ten odcinek. A, przepraszam. A w następnym śmigamy jakoś dalej. To trzymajcie się i do zobaczenia.